The biggest weight loss mistake I've seen most people make in my 25 years of coaching is not getting to the root cause of what's been holding them back. Instead, they hop from fad diet to fad diet where they may experience success in the short term, but like a band-aid, it doesn't stick forever. So they end up regaining that weight back, yo-yoing up and down, and although they've been able to get lean at times, they're not able to do what is most important, stay lean. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through some examples of how you can fix this if this is something that you have been struggling with yourself. We're going to begin by taking a look at Tom, one of the members of the Lose Fat, Get Jacked Inner Circle. He recently shared a post where he mentioned that he has lost 13 pounds during the past couple of months, and he shared what's been working with him. And that's the beauty of belonging to a community of like-minded and goal-driven men and women who got your back, who are there to celebrate these mini victories with you, but also there to learn and grow from each other's experiences and to build each other up, bring out the best in each other, and help walk through any challenges that you may be experiencing along the way. So Tom shared that what's been working for him is that he really doesn't enjoy calorie tracking. So what he did was determine what his calorie target should be in order to achieve his weekly fat loss goals there. And then he designed a meal plan incorporating his favorite foods, his favorite meals that would allow him to hit that calorie target on a daily or weekly basis there. So kudos to you, Tom, for taking that step. That is exactly what I lay out in the free Lose Fat, Get Jacked nutrition guide, which includes 3 sample meal plans. I'll include a link down below in the description, as well as a top pinned comment so you can download that for yourself and take a look through that and maybe learn some tips there along the way. But what also worked for Tom is intermittent fasting, and that intrigued me. I wanted to hear more about that. Like, what was it about intermittent fasting that was really resonating with him and that really allowed him to stick to his diet this go around here? So he mentioned that although he has this meal plan that he's been able to stick to for the most part, there are moments when he will overeat. So when he overeats, he'll just fast for the next 24 hours. Or if he really overeats, he may fast for 48 hours. So I'm like, well, congratulations on your success, Tom. This is absolutely awesome. It's great that you found something that is working for you right now. But how are you feeling when you're overeating? How are you feeling the days afterwards? And he's like, I'm not all that good. Like, I don't feel the best when I'm overeating or afterwards as well. So I'm like, okay, so we found something that works, but how can we improve upon this? How can we build upon this? So you don't necessarily have to overeat so much. Like, you're going to identify the triggers that lead you to overeating and then find ways where you can be a little bit more responsible in those moments. So maybe you don't have to fast the next day if you don't want to, or at least if you do desire, like if you are enjoying fasting, you like having that day where you give your digestive system a break, maybe it gives you a little bit more energy, maybe it's just great for you mentally to have that day of fasting there. So if that's the case, that's fantastic. Keep that day of fasting in there. But if you'd rather, like if you're not enjoying the fasting, you'd rather eat those days there, you're a little bit more responsible during those days when you do overeat a little bit. And maybe instead of fasting the next day, you only have to reduce your calories by 1, 2, maybe 300 calories, and it's going to balance itself out throughout the week there. So there's different approaches you can take, but I'm like, so what are the triggers that are leading you to overeat to begin with? And he's like, usually it's going up for seconds and sometimes thirds and just eating more because the food is there. So what he did was just set a rule to, for every meal that he eats, he's only going to stick to 1 plate. So it's just a mental decision there. The temptations are still there, but he realizes that he's not gaining any greater joy from going up for seconds or thirds or fourths, whatever it is. It's actually causing him more pain when he does that. So if he sticks to 1 plate, he's going to be satisfied. He's going to hit his calorie target for the day, stick with his meal plan at the best there. And then he doesn't have to fast the next day if he doesn't want to. So again, it was just a mental switch in his head, just creating a little rule for himself as he learns to have this awareness of what's going to serve him best in that moment. Next, we'll take a look at Brady, one of my one-on-one coaching clients who came to me because he was doing great during the week, but he really struggled with his weekends, and the weekends would completely wipe out all the progress that he had made during the week, and is really basically sick and tired of sabotaging himself like that. So he's like taking personal responsibility, which is great. Like he's the one in control here. It doesn't matter. Like every weekend he has events and gatherings, and there's all these temptations, but it's easy to blame all that stuff, but he's taking personal responsibility. I'm sick and tired of sabotaging myself. So we're identifying, all right, so the triggers, weekends, there's always events here. What can we do to, again, handle these situations a bit more responsibly? And again, for him, he's someone who has benefited from intermittent fasting in the past. So he's been kind of playing around with his windows of eating. He's not necessarily like a 24-hour fast or 48-hour fast like Tom was. He's more like the 16-8 kind of fasting approach there. So I'm like, all right, so when you have these events here, and you know there's going to be food that you're going to want to indulge in, you're going to want to have a bit of that. Maybe you can bank calories throughout the day, so you're eating a little bit less throughout the day, so you have more calories where you can dedicate to that, and you can enjoy some of those foods, again, still being responsible in those moments. And for that first weekend, it worked out great for him. The second weekend is like, let's try. I know there's not going to be a lot of foods that I'm really enjoying there, so before this event, I'm going to eat. So I'm getting there, I'm not hungry. I'm not gonna be as tempted to eat because I'm already satisfied. I don't need any food there. Again, that worked for him as well. And you can see in this graph, we're just kind of always continuing to try to improve each and every week. So maybe instead of not of banking calories for that or eating beforehand, so you're not going to eat, there's like, all right, how can you eat even more responsibly when you're at these events? So you're listening to your body, doing what's going to serve you best. And you can see that although he's gained a little bit of weight each weekend here, he's actually at least now making progress. He's not wiping out all of his progress from the weekend. He's still able to move forward in the direction that's going to serve him best. And we're still kind of working things out. It's a journey. It's a process of learning and growing what's going to serve us best in each moment. And from my examples, again, this is a prime example of what the journey is like. So 13 years ago, when I lost 50 pounds of fat, like I had struggled for years in this similar situation where I'd be really good for a few days. And then I'd like look into the cupboards and I'm like, oh God, there's a box of cookies. Okay, I'm gonna have a cookie. Maybe I'll have two. Maybe I'll have three. I'm like, screw it. I kind of blew my diet. I might as well eat the whole box of cookies. I'm like, okay, I really blew my diet. I might as well have ice cream and chips and a box of cereal, and I'll just start again tomorrow or start again Monday. So there's all these justifications going in my mind. So I had what helped me get through that, identifying the triggers. It wasn't like, all right, I got to tell my family, we're not allowed to have junk in the house. No cookies, no ice cream, no treats or anything like that. I just can't control myself. Like, that's not right. I need to learn, like, why. What is it that takes me from one cookie to three cookies to the entire box and all that? It's like me justifying in my mind, or, you know what, I've been good for a few days. I deserve this. I can have a little bit more. I can have a little bit more. And then I was like thinking like, all right, 3 cookies. Now I blew my diet. I'm just going to start again tomorrow, so I might as well pig out right now and get this done and out of the way. I had to become aware that like, that's not serving me best, and I had to become aware that, you know what, I can have 3 cookies, I can have 4 cookies and still hit my calorie target for the week. I can have treats each and every day. I don't have to go 3 days or 4 days being perfect before allowing myself some sort of like cheat meal or cheat days or anything like that. I can have treats each and every day and work it into my daily calorie target or my weekly calorie target. So avoiding that guilt, avoiding that beating myself up, and just realizing that it's food. I can enjoy all of this, all my favorite foods, and still achieve my fat loss goal. So that's allowed me to lose that 50 pounds of fat, finally get 6-pack abs for my 36th birthday there. And then I went through several years, like 5 years of bulking and cutting, where I'd intentionally gain 20 to 30 pounds over the course of 6-7 months, and then go through fat loss phases to burn off any of the excess fat that I gained through that muscle building process. And during that time, every Friday night, I'd be going out with the guys, playing darts. There'd be a huge spread of food. We'd do some drinking and all that stuff. And I just couldn't control myself on the Fridays. So that was kind of my cheat day. And instead of doing what Tom did and fast the next 24 hours or 48 hours, whatever, depending on how much I ate there. I just decided to like really reduce my calories each and every day throughout the rest of the week. So there's like one higher calorie day and 6 days where it was lower calories. And it worked. I was able to achieve my fat loss goal like Tom, as consistent losing 1.5 pounds per week. But like, it was like spike in weight. I'd be like, my weight would drop and then I'd like spike in weight, and then it wouldn't be till like Wednesday when I'm like, okay, I'm back to where I was last Friday morning. And then it's like Thursday and Friday. Okay, now I see I'm actually making progress here, even though I'm making progress each and every day. But what I realized was that, first of all, it kind of sucks eating so little throughout the week. It'd be okay maybe the day after for 2 days there, but my energy started going in the tank, my performance in the gym, my mental clarity, all that stuff suffered as I was getting closer and closer to Friday. And then Friday comes, I'm like, I am hungry. Like I needed that refeed day there. And then I'd eat pig out there on all the treats that were in front of me, and I'd go home feeling like crap, full, bloated, stuffed, uncomfortable, get into bed, crawl into bed with acid reflux, which would interfere with my sleep. I'd wake up feeling like crap because I'm exhausted and then my digestive system's out of whack. It just wasn't serving me well. Yes, I was able to achieve my goal, which is great, but how can I learn and improve and build upon what I'm doing here right now? It's like, I don't ever want to feel that crappy again. So like part of my goal was just to like avoid the pain of that discomfort. So when I was in these situations every Friday night, I was like, okay, yes, I have a tough time controlling myself, but getting sick and tired of experiencing that pain and discomfort was enough for me to learn to like take my time chewing, savoring every bite of food. When it came to the alcohol, I'd have an alcoholic beverage and then have water. Alcoholic beverage, water, keeping things more in check there. So being more responsible in those moments. So that was 7 years ago where I went through that last fat loss phase where I lost 20 pounds. Actually, when you download that free guide, the Lose Fat, Get Jacked Nutrition Guide there, one of the 3 sample meal plans is that 12-week cutting phase where I lost that 18 pounds, I think it was. And you'll see every Friday night I had those cheat meals. And you'll see like I had a treat each and every day. So I learned from my first experience that it's okay to have a treat each and every day. You can work that into your total daily calorie target and your weekly calorie target. So you're incorporating all of your favorite foods. You're not feeling as deprived. But I learned through each of those experiences. So then when I went through my next cutting phase, is the little mini cuts I was going through. Again, you'll see a sample meal plan in that free guide, the download there. I learned to keep things consistent as I was able to keep those days in check and learn to no longer overeat anymore. It's been 7 years since I felt over full. It's so good. I will never feel like that again. I just don't want to ever feel like that again. So I'm able to kind of push that plate away whenever I get to the point of satisfaction. But I learned that I'm so much better keeping my calories consistent on a daily basis there throughout the week. It's able to sustain my energy throughout the week. It's easier to kind of monitor my progress. It's a little bit more linear rather than like the big spike in weight. And then I have to really drastically reduce my calories to see it go down there. It's more linear throughout the process. But what's most important is that I'm feeling my best every single day, sustaining my energy throughout the entire fat loss process and even hitting some personal bests throughout the fat loss process there when I'm able to provide my body with an adequate amount of fuel each and every day. So really, again, so it's been 13 years of me learning and growing throughout this process, identifying the triggers that cause me to overeat and really learning how it can continue to refine how I'm eating there, improving and building upon what's already working there. So again, really focused on what's going to allow me to feel my best, perform my best, and just really thrive in all aspects of my life. So that is the key. This is why it's so important to get to the root cause of what's been holding you back rather than just jumping on another diet plan that may have worked for someone else without you doing any of the work of identifying like what are the triggers, what's really holding you back, because those problems, those root causes are always going to resurface and you have to address those. You have to overcome those issues and those root causes, eliminate them, so then you no longer have to worry about them in the future. So you can continue, again, focus on thriving and living your life to the fullest.